All right, here we go. Now, today, this is from RMA, Armament Inc., which you should go ahead, check out. You should go subscribe to, like the video, because that's nice and proper to do.
Hey guys, Elliot here for RMA. Now I've got a couple of really exciting announcements to make for you today that are going to change the body armor world forever. But before we do that, we have to say goodbye to some old friends. Today, we're ending the 1155, the 1165, and the 1192. Now, 10 years ago, no, a little more than that, 2014, Flake started RMA with the goal of hoping to make better body armor so that our soldiers, sailors, marines, law enforcement officers, and prepared civilians could hopefully survive what would be the worst moments of their life. Out of that was born an actually affordable body armor product that was available in the civilian market. Now, if you'll recall back in
Jaguar says the RMA dude is a high-level Freemason. Wait till you find out about our government and Desert Tech and some of these other people. Look up the order, if you will. Many such cases.
2014, this stuff generally was not available to the general public. You could get steel plates, you could get maybe some military surplus, but there wasn't really any body armor manufacturer selling high-quality level 4 body armor to the general public. Blake pushed out the 1155. There's an affordable level 4 plate to this day. Still probably the most affordable American-made level 4 plate there is. But this thing is single curve. Eventually we made multi-curve. It's affordable, but the biggest flaw that it had, including the multi-curve model, is that it's 8.3 pounds. It's pretty heavy.
Dude, okay, so I have two sets of plates. They're actually both behind me. One of them is an overseas manufactured level 4 plate. That's kind of like level 4. I want to say they're 7 pounds, roughly. And I don't know if they actually like meet. They're quote unquote tested to level 4, but I don't know if they actually meet. That's my cheap pair that I just wear if I'm like trying to simulate weight or whatnot, basically. And they would probably work in a pinch against most things, but again, if you're buying something to protect your life, it's for a very specific application. You probably want to get something that's actually going to do what it's rated to do. RMA's plates at over 8 pounds are very heavy. The plates that I actually wear are what are they? They're the Premier Defense Special Rifle Threats, so they stop M193 and a bunch of other rifle rounds, but they don't stop M855, which would be really bad if you're going up against a military force. But they're only 2 pounds each. So they're the lightest plates on the market that I know of that stop M193. So, but the weight savings is ridiculous, right?
And for years, people have said, oh, RMA makes heavy plates. So, man, okay, we'll make something lightweight. So we did. We made the 1192. 1192 is an absolute killer. It's 5.9 pounds boron carbide, silicon carbide mixture, just for a little bit of added strength in there. Ultra high molecular weight, polyethylene backer, and everybody loves this thing. And, you know, it's a higher end plate, but even as affordable as we made it at about $700 a piece, it's still quite a lot of money.
That's the thing about special rifle plates too, is like you go from regular level 4 plates and you're like, you can get them cheap for like $100, $150, somewhere in that range. And then it's like special rifle plates, $800 each. It's like, ah, man, damn, that ruins my value proposition.
And a lot of people still couldn't afford this lighter weight.
Sorry, say again?
Diminishing returns real quick, like exponentially.
Oh yeah, of course. But like, how do I say this? If you're spending $10,000 on your night vision thermal setup, if you're spending $3,000 on your rifle optic setup, if you have everything else squared away, spending $1,500 on a set of good plates, that's reasonable, right? That can be. Now I understand for a lot of people in chat, that is not, hey, it's RMA. As soon as we start talking about it, pops up. How's it going, RMA? But yeah, so, but it is lower on the totem pole for a lot of people, for sure, right? If you're running a BCM rifle, which is perfectly fine, a mediocre optic, pick your poison, but you don't have enough ammo and you don't have all the LBE and you don't have night vision and you don't have thermals, maybe a really, really expensive set of plates is way down the line. Like it's probably on the totem pole. It's probably like item number 9 or 10 to get squared away first. And I understand that a lot of people in chat talking about $1,500 for a set of plates. Like that's way too much money, right? That's way too much money. They're like, I can't afford that. I can't do that. Totally understandable. If you can't afford it, don't right now, right? Hold off. That's what I would say. Get some other stuff. Get what you need first.
I guess good lightweight rifle rated special threat plates would make sense for law enforcement guys who would be wearing them all day. And yeah.
Well, yeah, and it's also how much are you going to use it, but I think it is something for people to invest in. But people also need to invest in other things, right? Like food, water, and sustainment, right? If you have $20,000 worth of gear or whatnot, but you don't have any food, water, backups, or anything else like that,
Yeah.
like maybe your priorities are a little bit out of whack, right? Maybe just a little bit. Like quad nods look cool on the gram, but they ain't gonna help you last 2 weeks in a shutout, right?
Higher quality body armor. So we said, hey, we need to have something in the middle. So a couple of years ago, I said, like, why don't we take those awesome Dyneema backers we're using on the 1093 Plus series, put it on a level 4 ceramic, and see what we come up with. And out of that thought experiment, the 1165 was born. Now, if you've paid attention to us for the past couple of years, you have seen us send these things out to everybody who asks, and they have shot them with every imaginable cartridge. It's just a killer plate. It turned out even stronger than we anticipated it to. It's only 6.8 pounds. It cuts about 1.5 pounds of weight off of the 1155, but we've routinely sold this thing at $249, and if you've ever bought during
Sub 7 pound level 4 protection for $250 a pop, pretty good value. Like there might be a couple fly by night companies out there making something a little bit cheaper, right? Because you can find like the $99 special, like Battle Steel or Lapica LAPG, or I think there's a couple others out there that do like the $99 specials that are around that 7 pounds, quote unquote, level 4 rated. But it's harder to find. So sub 7 pounds is kind of where you want to be. If you can get down to 4 with some of the hyper expensive stuff, there's another company that I'm trying to remember that was doing about $500 a plate at about 4.5 pounds, 5 pounds, something like that, and that's a really attractive option as well. We're still talking a lot of money. I get it, but yeah. RMA says we're working on 11 by 14, so that's the big boys. In these new 65 G2s, they should be around 8.3 pounds for the full 11 by 14. I don't know if anyone that actually runs the full 11 by 14s. Everybody's that I've seen are always running like the 10 by 12 shooters cuts, basically. That's the most common one that I've seen. Yeah, as semi-auto, wise word says invest in hard skills over equipment. Yeah, there's a lot of things you need prior to be in place before, like body armor is important, something you should have for sure, just like everything else. But I think it is further down the totem pole for a lot of people.
Sale, often $199 per plate, so it was still extremely affordable if you wanted to get out of steel plates or heavy level 4 plates and get into something a little bit more lightweight. This was the way to go. But today we got to say goodbye to that too. As much as we have loved the 1155, the 1165, the 1192, they each kind of had their own little thing that we weren't quite satisfied with. It's always a little bit too heavy or a little bit too expensive. And for years, operators have been making those same sorts of compromises by going to 3+ plates in order to save weight, or having to spend an arm and a leg, your finest goats, your firstborn, in order to get into lightweight level 4 plates. Today we've changed that. Now before you say it's Chinese or it's a foam ring or something, it's none of those things, and I'm going to show you exactly how we build it. And these are the plates right here. The 1155 Generation 2 and the 1165 Generation 2. The 1155 is built in the exact same way as the Generation 1, but it has our new high pure ceramic strike face. We've worked the past...
Well, let me get to this wall, because Josh has an important question, and Josh loves talking about body armor. So R-Mate, do your current iteration of plates, 1165 and 1155 Gen 2 and XRT, have foam or some sort of drop protection in front of the ceramic strike face? 1165 Gen 2 plates, lab report, do not show wet or dropped. Yeah, Josh was going in on this because he's curious if with the new lighter weight design, if they are still drop safe, because that is something with ceramics a lot of people don't realize, is that for some of the tests, they need to actually be dropped beforehand and then shot to see if that ceramic strike face breaks up at all by an impact, because it's ceramic. It will indeed break in certain conditions, right?
Year and a half, 2 years, to custom engineer this with Potosi, who's the world's leading body armor ceramics manufacturer. So as of right now, only we have this, and we are selling it to you now to beat other people to market, because we know that they are going to inevitably try to swap this stuff out for their silicon carbide products and just...
Okay, so RMA clarifies they do not have a foam on the front of the panel. Now, why that is probably not a big deal in a lot of cases is usually you're going to be inside of a plate carrier with a lot of stuff on the front that kind of acts like padding. Not in every circumstance, but depending on how you have your plate carrier set up, probably not that big of a deal. What people are worried about, though, is over a long period of time, because these are all long-term investments, 5-10 years, right? that ceramic strike face can become compromised due to drops, bustling, switching from plates to carrier to plate carrier, whatever it might be. And if it cracks, it's going to drop in its efficacy, of course, right?
Pad their bottom line. As you know, we have never been about just padding the bottom line. That's because we answer Blake Waldrop instead of shareholders or foreign holding companies or board of directors. Blake's a guy who lives in Iowa, former Marine, former law enforcement, and he just wants to make the best products, the best prices. It's as simple as that. So today, I'm going to show you, this is the 1165 right here, and I'll show you the bits that go into this. This is our custom engineered high pure ceramic. Now the difference between this and a normal level 4 ceramic is that this is substantially thinner. Now how do we do that without losing performance? Well, this is about 20% thinner than a normal ceramic. The difference is, this is 99.7% ultra high purity alumina oxide. Most plates that you buy today are somewhere between 95 to 98%, some are even as low as 90%. The purpose of that is when they make ceramics, they fire these things, there's an enormously high failure rate the higher percentage that you go. So until now, you could make 99.7% alumina oxide, but it was prohibitively expensive to buy because you'd have like a 90% failure rate when you tried to make it. Now, some of that...
Yeah, they make it so hard and so brittle that the manufacturing process just becomes tedious. And that is also, your failure rate is going to directly impact your cost, right? Because if you, we have when I was in the steel industry, we had failure rates baked into cost, especially with like $1 million orders or whatnot, right? You know that a certain amount of parts are not quite going to make it. There's always going to be a little bit of cut off or chaff or whatever it's going to be. And so you have to factor that into your cost, because if you don't, in like $1 million order, and then you come to the end and you're like, what, I bought enough material for this order, why isn't it working? It's like, well, yeah, but you didn't factor an 8% loss or a 12% loss. So now, that 120K you made off of that order went down to basically nothing. And now the customer's angry at that his order isn't done on time. So important to think about when you're actually manufacturing this stuff.
Process has been sort of figured out. And so now we have an extremely high success rate of about 90% when these get fired. So suddenly they're almost as affordable as your 95 to 98% purity tiles. But the critical difference is that this higher purity means it's a lot harder, which means we don't need to use as much to achieve the same ballistic results. So we took this and we paired it with our already ultra lightweight backer made from Dyneema ultra high molecular weight polyethylene that we're using on the current 1165. We paired it together and you can see how thin this thing is. After we press this in our hydraulic press and turn this, what is a sort of a floppy laminate type material, into something closer to a brick, we pair it with this ceramic, we bond it together, and what we have is an affordable level 4 plate that hits new weights never seen before in this price range, unless you maybe went and bought something Chinese or had a foam ring or something to reduce weight. But as you can see, this is true edge-to-edge strike face, whether you buy the shooter's cut or the Sappi. Now, the Sappi is 9.5 by 12.5, of course, standard sizing, but we also offer the 10 by 12 shooter's cut. The Sappi version is 6.3 pounds, and the shooter's cut version is 5.5 pounds.
That's pretty hot. Sub 6 pounds for a 10 by 12 with a full strike face on it. Because a lot of the times too, people don't realize this, but they buy their 10 by 12, right? But then there's like an inch buffer all the way around the plate, right? So their 10 by 12, that level 4 protection or whatever protection they're rated for, is only an inch from the outside. So really you have something like an 8.5 by 11 or something like that, right? But if it is true edge to edge, which obviously can also complicate things when it comes to cracking, because sometimes you need a little bit of padding around the edges where, cracking can occur. Good weight though.
A 5.5 pound edge to edge 10 by 12 level 4. And we are not charging anywhere near $700 for this.
$299.
Not even $600, not even $500, not even $400. We're announcing this today, priced at only $299.
Hey,
so that every American.
I hadn't seen this before, so that was a guess. $299. So now $600-ish for a full set. About 11 pounds total. Not bad. Not bad. $299 per plate. Well, hey, listen, RMA. I actually do kind of want to replace my old crappy set. So I will probably pick up a set of yours. And no, I don't want one for free. I will buy one. That's not bad. That's not bad. $299 per plate. And I imagine there might be out. It's Christmas time. It's Black Friday time. It's actually a great time to release, heading in. If in the next month there's a tiny bit of a sale or something like that. Good timing. Good timing.
Well, when you get your new ones, let me buy your old ones because I need something just to throw in the carrier.
Well, dude, I'd sell you both of my old sets for $99 total.
Fair enough.
I might even send you the plate carrier with it if you want it.
Yeah, I'll load it.
Prepared civilians,
one
law
carrier.
enforcement, military can get their hands on high quality, thin and light body armor at a reasonable price.
Yes, shove one butt protection. That's right. I need the extra curved one to protect my voluptuous assets. Okay. Thank you, Squid Ninja.
Today, the level 4 revolution begins, and heavy plates are gone forever. Thanks, guys.
Heck yeah, cool. So that's it's always nice to see when a company is bringing something to market that people want, that being lightweight plates with full protection. Now, I imagine certifications have already been posted on it to meet the RF3/level 4 protections made in America, right? Not charging $800 a piece is quite nice.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I think that, yeah, sub £6, really attractive. So if you're needing a set, hit them up.
Yeah, it seems like a really good buy.
Well, I wonder, does RMA make the shoulder pads and other stuff like that?
I was wondering if they make the tactical jock strap.
Well, I know I've seen some people that offer like the full set, the groin protection, the thigh protection, the shoulder pads, stuff like that. But if they're going to take this tech into other areas,
Yeah, I'd like to
you
see
might
this
as
in
well.
side plates.
Side plates too. I'm sure they'll have side plates up for it if they don't already have something like that. But no, super cool. Excellent. And again, it's nice to see a company innovating and not charging, quintuple the price or something, right? They're like, guys, we shaved off 1.2 pounds and the price tag only went up to $7.99. It's like, well, now they ruined it. Yeah, RMA is quite funny. Yes. It's in the name, okay? It's in the name, guys. Well, hey, RMA Armament, I appreciate it. Thank you, sir. Hope you have a good night. But yeah, go check them out, guys. Check out their YouTube channel too. What's actually funny is that this live stream will probably get more views than their video. So go check it out. Go hit the like and subscribe button. I would hit the subscribe button, but I'm on the other YouTube channel.
I'm gonna when I get around to making clips,
Actually,
I am going to link to this if I can.
Let me drop the link in chat. Actually, that'll make it easier for you guys.
Oh, 100%.
Boom. There you go.